Good evening, class. It's me, Jessica Long, and today I am going to be giving a persuasive speech about poor parenting. And I just want to start this off by saying, by no means do I think I'm the best parent in the world. This is something that I strive this is something that I strive to do for my career whenever I graduate college. I want to help children that have gone through various situations from either being abused or mentally abused. So, good morning, everybody. I would like to start out by asking what you understand by parenting and how significant you think it is to a child's life. It is my hope by the end of this speech, everyone will understand the different aspects of parenting, both the good and the bad, and we will all go home knowing whether we are a good or a bad parent, or if we need to work on some of our parenting skills. Parenting is so important because parents contribute to so much to a child's life, to their social, physical, cognitive, and even their well-being. Parents are the caretakers, playing a crucial role in the development of a child's life, so therefore it makes sense to focus on the issue of parenting. So therefore, class, how well a child is, whether physically, mentally, or even socially, depends on how well the parents take the initiative of parenting. So today we are going to tackle both ends of parenting, but I would like to put more weight on the negative side, poor parenting, which many people, especially myself and some parents, have overlooked. So let's ask ourselves, what is poor parenting? I would love to approach this question at this angle, that is a series of actions that parents are engaged in that end up affecting their children physically, mentally, or even socially. I want it to be known that poor parenting can either be intentional or unintentional. What I mean by this is some parents choose to be bad parents, or rather practice this bad parenting, but again, some parents are bad parents, but they have no idea what they're actually doing is really bad for their children. From 0 to 3 years, it is a crucial time for a child's development for their brain. So how you react to a child is very crucial in a child's life at the early ages. So therefore, it is important that each parent, especially people in this class that have children, to understand what kind of parent you are to your child, depending on how you treat your kid and react to whether you are within or without the presence of your child. Many of us in this class ask, how do I know if I'm a bad or a good parent? Do not worry, just pay attention, and I'm going to try to outline just a few of the signs of poor parenting which we can all use to gauge ourselves. To start with this exclusive reprimand, which many of us do as a parent, the moment you note that every time your child does something wrong and you strongly reprimand them, regardless of whether they have told the truth or not, you're definitely a bad parent. What this does to the kid, if they used to tell the truth and they still be reprimanded, then they're going to prefer to do the opposite, which is telling lies, and nobody likes a liar. I do not want to lose anyone here because this is so important to us. So please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment or ask me below. I'll try my best to give my advice and some research that I have pertained in my college career. My advice to any of the parents out there, I know it's hard, but try to not discipline or scold your child in front of anyone or any other parents or even your child's peers. It is embarrassing to the child and even yourself. Let us ask ourselves if this is what we do when our child messes up and we are in there in front of people. I am a parent too, and many of times I have been so tempted to do this, but I always take a breath and be patient. So parents, do not scold your child in front of other people. Just take a breath and either pull them into another room and talk to them, or even put them in timeout. Children tend to pick up parents' behaviors and habits, so therefore strive to be the best example for your child. For example, if you come home drunk all the time, then it's likely that your child is going to follow in the same footsteps and bad habits later down the road. So please, parents, if you want to be good parents, then we need to give our children time and attention. Don't always be glued to your phone, and never have any time for your child. These are the type of parents will make their kids feel neglected, and that's not good for a child to feel neglected because they're never going to want to come out and reach out to you. I can see some of you are trying to share with others, and this clearly implies that we have gone through all these or even some of them as parents. But it is not too late to do the right thing, and if from and the little you have mentioned you feel like you are a bad parent already, it is okay. You can always put a smile on your face. There is still hope to becoming a good parent if you choose to be one and take time and initiative. Many people who were raised under various conditions as children and are now parents have the tendency of bringing up their children in the same way they were raised, and I stand to be corrected if I am wrong. These are just some of the statistics that I've came across of. If the child is grown up in poverty, more than likely their children later down the road are gonna grow up in poverty. It's just the statistics. Sometimes it can be wrong, but more than likely that's how it always ends up. Parenting is passed down from generation to generation to generation, and that's why a parent who went under the same conditions is likely to bring up the child in the same way. In about 2 to 3 minutes, I want you to ask somebody that you are around and tell them some of the things that impacted you by your parents in your childhood age. You still use them as a parent to your child. I hope that now you have clearly have an idea of parenting and tend to be cautious and pass down to generation. I want us to look very fast at an impact of poor parenting, whether it is short term or long term. One of the very common effects, which has even led the death of many, is depression. I will ask you this: have you ever been depressed? Many parents who have a negative approach to their kids expose high chances of being depressed. As a parent, would you rather be a bad parent at an expense to your child's depression? This is a question I would like each and every person here to ask themselves and answer internally. Antisocial behavior is closely associated to bad parenting. This is seen especially in children whose parents have bad parenting habits like parental drug abuse, violence, or even negative behavior that they are around. Aggression is also seen in kids whose parents have handled them roughly and even expressed negative emotions towards them. So please, parents, if you really don't want your children to grow through any of this and any others, learn some good parenting mannerism. It's not hard. Just be patient. It's always going to be a day where you just don't have the time. Just take a breath or even go in another room and just take a minute for yourself. Let us look briefly at good parenting and see if we also have some of it and how much we need to work on it ourselves to be good parents. I would like to start by saying the best step is the most important to take as a parent to admit you have some poor parenting problems, then work towards overcoming them. All of us that are parents in this class are not the perfect parent. There's always room for improvement. As a good parent, learn to listen to your child and try as much as possible to respond to them, which then makes your relationship grow even more tremendously with your child. Be a good example. Let your child copy good habits and behaviors from you. Your child is always going to look up to you and they're going to follow everything that you do. I know this for a fact because that's what my child does. She copies everything that I do. Rules should also be set, but be sure to discuss them with your child. Tell them what you expect of them. Don't just expect them to know it. Hands-on parenting is very crucial as a parent and is involved in each and every development of a kid. This impacts the good skills in them. Parents, do not shut your child out, but instead try to listen to them, even if you don't have the patience for it that day. And also, class, I would like to wrap everything up by saying always strive to be a good parent, even on your bad days. You have failed once, but that doesn't mean you're a bad parent forever. Just be patient with them, and this can help your child grow physically, mentally, and even socially well. Before I leave, let me see by everyone how many of us are ready to change for the best. I know there's always room for improvement, but I am very humble to give this persuasion speech. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that even the people that do not have children in this class take some of the advice for later down the road whenever they do have children. This was one of my favorite speeches that I had to take for this class, and thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next speech.